Tariffs in Nigeria increased by 50%. The telcos said they were going to improve service quality per a 3-month deadline from the Nigerian Communications Commission. Arise News sat down with Mr. Dinesh Balsingh, the new MD CEO of Airtel Nigeria. Here is our full conversation on tariffs and investing in Nigeria's telecommunications industry. Dinesh Balsingh, the new MD CEO of Airtel Nigeria. Thank you for speaking to Arise News and congratulations on your new role. You're coming in at a very interesting time where a lot is being discussed around the profitability of telcos in Nigeria. And we've just had this 50% increase after 12 years where there's been no review. Is that enough? Is the 50% enough? Because we know the telcos wanted 100%.
Well, good morning, Rotus, and nice to have you with us, and also to be on Arise talking to you about this. Yeah, it's an exciting time, and definitely a good time where we're having this conversation. So let's first look at the industry and some of the dynamics. Over the last few years, there are two major components of cost which comes out of the revenues that we generate. The first cost is the operating expenditure on running a network. And the second cost is on a capital expenditure to keep upgrading the network. When it comes to running the network, energy is the single largest cost of running any network. And in energy, as you know, power and fuel are the two sources, largely fuel. Let's see power. The price has gone up by over 200% to about 225 per kilowatt hour. If you look at diesel, it's also gone up to about 1,153, and I think in March 21 it was somewhere in the 200s. So that's gone up by about 390%. So this is the cost outlay that is enhanced in all our cost elements. Now, the increase in this cost has made the margins go negative, and shareholder equity is negative at this point in time. And so when we rush to the banks for loans, the loans have also gone up. So the interests are circa 30%. So overall, and I didn't talk about the capital expenditure, which is largely on the purchase of goods which are imported. So the foreign exchange has also gone up from 500 to 1500, so a 300% increase. So these are all the costs which are kind of, hurting the industry, and it's a deep rate. And we've been engaging with, the ecosystem, and I'm very happy that, this revision and this adjustment has come about now. I wouldn't say whether it is enough or not enough, but I think what is important now as a priority is how do we optimize this change and use this for continued enhanced investments, and keep, building the network, service quality, rural network improvement. I think that's our immediate focus at this point in time.
Now, there's an act law that before the players in the telecommunications sector can seek an increase, they have to get permission from the Communications Commission, from the regulator.
Yeah.
Some in the business community have pushed back on this, that it's not capitalism to have the player in the sector have to seek permission to do that. What's your take on that?
The free market principles clearly implies that any exchange has to happen only if there is value for both the parties. Now you couple that with demand and supply, competition. So any industry with these dynamics will find the right price, and that's what is a progressive industry framework. Having said that, telecom is an essential service, and it is good to have oversight, and NCC has oversight over us, which is good. Now, even in this oversight, if you look at it, if I'm not wrong, I think there is a price floor below which industry is not sustainable and investments will not come, and there's a price ceiling above which consumers will be affected because of the heightened price increase. So somewhere the market has to find its place in between, and this will be governed by the dynamic nature of the industry, the competitive play of the industry, as well as the economic realities at that point in time, and somewhere this will have to adjust itself. I think this is how the framework is also there for the pricing. But yeah, I think it's good to have oversight, and I mean, we are fine with that, with the way it is presently there. But yeah, we would always feel open free market pricing is probably the right framework.
Arise News caught up with the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, in Davos for the World Economic Forum. And he said that the 50% tariffs are a start.
Well, I think I agree with you that there is a need to reflect the fact that over a 12-year period, there has been a rising cost, there has been inflation, and that needs to be reflected, of course, in the business computations for the telcos, which are, of course, they have a regulated, to an extent, their pricing is regulated. They're not just free to give any tariff that they want. So the cost of living that increase that has occurred has to be reflected. But I think 50% is a start. And it's all about compromise, and it's all about the timing and sequencing of some of these changes, necessary as they are.
What points would you be pushing for more?
You know, I really want to appreciate the minister and thank him for saying that, because, you know, it reflects his deep understanding of the sector and what's going through. I wouldn't want to dwell upon, you know, what is the right time and things like that. But at this point in time, we are happy with the 50% increase that's been given to us. We have to optimize it, keep affordability in play, and take care of the consumer as well. Focus on service quality, network deployment. I think these are our priorities at this point in time. And I would not want to put a definitive timeline on anything beyond this, but this is where my focus really is.
Okay, and speaking of which, since you're talking about focusing on the consumer, the Communications Commission, the NCC, the regulator, has said that in exchange for this 50% increase, they do want a service quality increase, improvement rather, over the next 3 months. Are you confident of being able to meet that deadline for service quality improvement?
Yeah, see, first, if I take Airtel prides itself in customer service. We keep customer at the heart of everything that we do. And the entire organization across Africa, across the globe, breeds customer service as its core value. So service quality is part of the DNA of this organization. Having said that, the NCC service standards are very crucial for us. And our EVC has been extremely vocal about it, and it's good that he's keeping us all honest on this promise of service quality. I'm definitely confident, and I'll tell you the reasons why. Because if I look at our the plans of investments that we have, whether it is rolling out new networks in rural, deep rural areas, or expanding our radios for enhanced data capacity, rolling out fiber, we're talking about submarine cable capacity enhancement, data centers. So a lot of these investments that we have lined up and are in place is definitely going to improve service quality standards. I would definitely say that we have challenges in the market, like, fiber cuts are rampant, vandalizing, fuel management. These are all constraints that are there. But yeah, I think we'll definitely meet those service standards, and it's my commitment, it's Airtel's commitment to deliver extremely good service quality standards and optimize this rate increase for the benefit of the consumer as well as the industry.
Great. So that actually leads me to my next point on capital expenditure. You released your 9-month 2024 earnings just a few days ago. Revenues are up about 20.4% to 3.6 billion. I did notice capital expenditure did come down a bit, about 7% to I think 456 million. But your full year capital expenditure guidance was between 725 to 750 million for 2024. So it's remained intact. Well, what's the capex outlook for 2025?
Yeah, see, I think these numbers are out in the public domain, and there will be small adjustments to that. But yeah, it is intact. And let me cover areas where this capex is going to go into. And we have lined up a sizable capital outlay, and Nigeria would have a large part of our capital outlay. And The big areas is, I think, rollout of towers. So we need to roll out a lot more towers in rural, deep rural areas. So it's a big focus area for us. We're also expanding our capacities because data consumption is growing leaps and bounds. So consistently we need to expand capacity. So we are expanding our radios, we're using larger frequencies and getting more capacity from the existing site that we have. We're also laying out more fiber. So investments are going into the fiber part of it because fiber is challenging in metros with the construction that's going, intercity construction that's going. So we need to build more fiber, build resilience, multiple rings. So there's investment going in that side. On the data center, ensuring that we have run top-notch data centers, we have caches with distributed storage. So there's a lot of work happening on that. So these are all large areas on the network side. Beyond the other things, which is the fintech innovation, investments that are going in, the app investments that are going in. So a whole host of capex investments are lined up in these directions, and I'm sure consumers will start feeling the impact of all of this.
All right, that's good to hear. Look, again, congrats on your new role. You are the MD CEO of the largest market here for Airtel Africa, that is Nigeria. So what else is going to be your focus in your role here?
Yeah, Rhodas, first, it's a privilege to be back in Nigeria. Nigeria is not new to me. I've spent close to a decade in Nigeria, almost a large part of my working career.
Practically a citizen.
That's true. I'm fond of Nigeria, and it's a great time to be here. It's a teeming population, aspirational people. It's a great country. Couple it with some of the policies which are being pursued now. Very strong policies, bold decisions, the right direction. So I see a bright future going forward. So it's a great country, great people, great policies, a bright future ahead. So it's a great place to be in and to serve the country. And couple it with Airtel. Airtel is a very strong brand, very high on integrity. It's got deep-rooted thoughts of social well-being. So it's a very honest brand and means well for the people. So it's good to be working with a brand like this in a great country like this. So, one couldn't have asked for anything better at this point in time. Now, where are my focus areas? I think a few key focus areas. Firstly, covering every part of Nigeria which has population. That's one big focus area. And not just covering it with just network, but high-speed data network. So as the need matures, people will use. But we should lay out the roads and be ready for consumers to use it as and when they are ready to use it. The second thing is reliability of network. I think that's a big challenge in an emerging economy like ours with construction, things like that. So how are we going to focus on reliability? How are we going to build that reliability into the network that we are providing? That's the second large thing. Availability of products and services, including fintech services. Those deep rural villages, we don't want people to take a KK and travel to a town to swap their SIM or to reset their PIN. Getting the services to the doorsteps at arm's length, I think that's an important focus area for me. Coming on to the cities, urban, suburban homes, connecting homes with fiber or high-speed wireless access, don't need to look beyond, have a good network at home. I think that's one big focus area. Innovation in, I think I've lined out many things, but last probably is, and you cannot leave that segment, which is the innovation and investments around innovation, investments around IoT. These are all new things that are that we have to get youngsters in this country to start, having those services. So that's one large focus area. So these are about 4 or 5 of my key focus areas. I am raring to go and happy to be here.
You're going to be a busy man, Mr. Dinesh Balsingh, MD, CEO, Airtel Nigeria. Thank you so much for talking to Arise News.
Thank you, Lotus. Thank you for having me here.